My child, I have been waiting for this moment. You cried out from the depths of your weary soul, "Please answer me," and today I am answering you. I have watched you reach for me again and again, hoping for a sign, longing for a whisper, desperate for even the smallest confirmation that I still see you, still hear you, still move for you. I have listened to every question you whispered into the darkness, to every silent plea you carried in your heart when your voice was too tired to pray. I did not miss a single one of them. You may have felt unheard, but I gathered every word. You may have thought I was silent, but I was preparing the moment when my response would come so deeply, so powerfully, that it would shake the very places where hopelessness tried to bury your faith. My beloved child, this is that moment. Today I answer you. I am still here. I never left you. Not for a moment, not for a breath, not even when you thought your world was falling apart and your prayers were disappearing into empty space. I was closer than the pain in your chest, nearer than the tears in your eyes, holding you through storms you couldn't explain and battles you didn't think you could survive. And now, what I am about to reveal is for you alone, your eyes only, your heart only, your spirit only. This is not a message I scattered to the crowd. This is a message I crafted for your journey, shaped by your wounds, formed by your longing, and timed perfectly with the cry that rose from the deepest part of your being. You ask me if I still speak. I do. You ask me if I still care. I do. You ask me if I still see the road you can't navigate. I do. And because I see you, I will not stay silent any longer. You asked for a sign, a whisper, a response, something that would let you know that everything you've endured was not wasted, that your waiting was not meaningless, that your tears were not ignored. My beloved, this is the moment I break the silence. I am stepping into the very center of your confusion to bring clarity. I am stepping into the middle of your fear to pour strength. I am stepping into the cold places in your heart to breathe warmth where hope has grown thin. I know what it felt like when you kept searching for an answer and saw nothing. I know how disappointment settled on your shoulders like a heavy cloak. I know how doubt crept into your thoughts when things didn't change as quickly as you prayed they would. But hear me now. I was never upset. I was working behind what you could not see, orchestrating what you could not comprehend, shaping what you thought was breaking, and turning what seemed like an ending into a doorway for what I have prepared next. Your tears reach heaven. Every single one. You thought you cried alone, but not a single tear touched your skin without my hand catching it. Your pain touched my heart. Every sigh, every shaking breath, every night you tried to be strong but felt yourself collapsing inside, I felt it. You wondered if anyone noticed the battles you fought in silence. I did. You wondered if anyone understood the depth of the ache you carried. I did. You wondered if the wounds you hid would ever be healed. They will. My child, I have seen the way you kept pushing forward even when everything in you felt tired. I have seen the way you held on to faith when fear whispered that you should let go. I have seen how you tried to smile through heaviness that few people could even imagine. My heart moved for you long before you even realized how deeply I was working in your life. And now my words are coming to reach the hidden corners of your soul, the places you've never been able to express, the questions you've never dared to say aloud, the fears you've buried, the hope you've been afraid to believe in again. I am coming for the forgotten places inside you, the broken pieces you tried to hide, the dreams you laid down because you thought they were too far gone. I am coming for every silent wound. I am coming for every unanswered question, I am coming for every part of you that has been crying. Lord, please answer me. You do not have to pretend with me. You do not have to hide. You do not have to be strong for me. I am here to be your strength. I am here to lift what has been too heavy for you. I am here to breathe new life where you felt empty. I am here to remind you that you matter, that you are seen, that you have never been invisible to me. Do not scroll away. Do not look aside. Do not let this moment slip past you. If you leave now, you will miss the message I preserved only for you. There are things I will speak in the next moments that your heart has needed for years. There are answers coming that your spirit has searched for in silence. There are revelations that will untangle confusion you've carried for too long. There are promises I am ready to place into your hands that were delayed only because the timing had not yet aligned with the destiny I created for you. Stay here with me. Hold this moment. Still your thoughts. Let your heart listen. What I am about to reveal will bring restoration to places you thought were lost. It will bring peace to battles you thought you would never escape. It will bring clarity to questions that tormented your nights. You cried, "Please answer me," and the answer is unfolding right now, word by word, breath by breath, because the one who loves you with a love that cannot fade has chosen this moment to speak directly to your soul. Stay, my child. Listen closely. You are not here by accident. You are here because heaven guided you into this moment. And what comes next was written for your eyes only. Say amen. Jesus is my everything if He's your joy, peace, and strength. My child, listen closely now, because what I am about to reveal reaches into the deepest parts of your story, places even you have tried to forget. I want you to understand something that will transform the way you see every season you survived. I was with you in every moment of your pain. Not just the moments you remember, not just the moments you cried out to me, but every breath, every step, every hidden breaking point, every silent battle you thought you faced alone. I never abandoned you. I never walked away. I never lost sight of you for even a heartbeat. And though you could not always feel me, I was closer than anything you could touch, closer than the fear in your chest, closer than the thoughts that overwhelmed you. I saw you on the nights when your tears fell quietly, when you kept your face buried in your pillow so no one would hear you break. You tried to hide the trembling in your body, tried to silence the sobs that rose like storms inside you, afraid that showing weakness would make everything feel even heavier. But my child, I was there. I was sitting beside you in the stillness of the room. I was a gentle warmth that wrapped around you even when the night felt cold. I was a presence that made you breathe through another hour when you did not think you could face another minute. Do you remember those moments when you cried without words, when grief or fear swallowed every prayer before it reached your lips? Even then, I heard you. Your tears spoke to me in ways your voice never needed to. Every tear became a prayer. Every sigh became a cry. Every moment your heart ached became a message that reached straight into heaven. And I answered, not always in ways you recognized, not always in the timing you hoped, but I answered by holding you through the darkness until the storm lost its power over you. You wondered why your prayers felt unanswered. You wondered why your voice seemed to echo into emptiness. You wondered why the things you begged me to fix remained broken longer than you expected. I saw those questions forming inside you, heavy and honest. I heard you whisper, Lord, are you still with me? Do you still hear me? Why does it feel like nothing is changing? My child, I was nearer to you in those questions than in any moment of certainty. You thought the silence meant absence, but the silence was me working in ways you couldn't see. Silence doesn't mean I left. It means I was operating beneath the surface, healing what you didn't know needed healing, moving what you didn't know needed shifting, shielding you from what you didn't know was rising against you. I was protecting you from doors you desperately wanted open but would have destroyed you if you stepped through them too soon. I was holding back answers because the timing meant everything, because I cared too deeply to give you something before it could bless you the way I intended. You felt forgotten. I know you did. There were days when you woke up with a heaviness no one else could see, a feeling that you were invisible to the world, unnoticed in your struggle, unimportant in the noise of everyone else's life. You wondered if I felt the same. You questioned whether your name still rested on my heart, whether my eyes still followed your path, whether my hands still held your future. My child, if you only knew how deeply I have been invested in every second of your existence, you would never again question your worth. I did not forget you, not even for a moment. While you were questioning your value, I was guarding your life. While you were doubting my nearness, I was arranging your steps. While you were wondering if you mattered, I was shaping your destiny with intention and love. You were never unseen. You were never overlooked. You are engraved on my hands forever before me. There were moments when confusion clouded your mind like a thick fog. Times when you tried to understand why things were happening the way they were. Times when you begged me to explain, to show you the bigger picture, to give you clarity, but all you felt was uncertainty. You looked for direction but saw only closed doors. You searched for peace but found only questions. You tried to believe, but fear pressed against your faith like a weight you couldn't lift. Yet even in that confusion, I was guiding you. You didn't feel my hand, but it was directing every step. You didn't see my protection, but it was surrounding you like a wall. You didn't recognize the paths I closed, but each one I shut was a danger removed from your future. You asked for clarity, but what you needed first was safety, and I gave you that even when you didn't know to thank me for it. Do you remember the moments when you questioned me most deeply? When your heart whispered, "Lord, where are you?" Or "Why did you let this happen?" Or "Do you still care about me?" I did not turn away when those questions formed inside you. I did not grow angry. I did not distance myself. I did not reject you for wondering. Those questions were not rebellion, they were pain. And I stayed close enough to hear every one of them. I stayed close enough to understand every unspoken fear behind your words. I stayed close enough to hold you even when you doubted me. You thought your questions had pushed me away. My child, they pulled me closer. Because a heart that questions me is a heart still seeking me. And I never ignore the seeking heart. There were dangers that came against you, physical, emotional, spiritual dangers you never even knew were near, because I silently stood between you and the harm that wanted to destroy you. I shielded your mind when the enemy tried to overwhelm it. I protected your spirit when darkness tried to claim it. I fought battles on your behalf that you never realized were happening. You saw the struggle on the surface, but I saw the warfare behind the scenes. And each time the enemy planned to break you, I blocked him. Every time he plotted to steal your hope, I stopped him. Every time he whispered lies to your heart, I countered them with truth even when you didn't know it was my voice you were hearing. I am the reason you didn't fall apart. I am the reason you made it through nights that should have destroyed you. I am the reason you still have breath, still have purpose, still have life rising inside you. Every message we share is meant to bring you closer to God. If our work brings peace to your heart, you can bless us with your support through super thanks. Your kindness means more than words. I was with you when you sat in silence, staring at the ceiling, trying to gather strength for another day. I was with you when your hands shook from stress, when your thoughts raced so fast you couldn't calm them. I was with you when loneliness wrapped around you like a cold blanket and you wondered if anyone would ever understand the weight you carried. I was with you when disappointment broke your heart, when relationships ended, when trust was betrayed, when life shifted so suddenly you didn't know how to stand again. I stood with you in every loss. I guarded you in every heartbreak. I carried you when you couldn't carry yourself. My child, you survived what should have crushed you because I was holding you the entire time. You walked through fire and were not burned. You walked through deep waters and did not drown. You walked through nights that felt endless and still saw morning. You kept going when everything inside you said to stop. And you didn't do that alone. I strengthened you when your strength disappeared. I breathed hope into you when you felt empty. I wrapped my arms around your broken pieces until they held together long enough for healing to begin. I covered you with grace when shame tried to bury you. I lifted you when despair tried to pull you under. You thought you were fighting alone, but I was fighting beside you with power you could not comprehend. My beloved, I want you to look back now not with fear, not with regret, but with understanding. Every moment you felt abandoned was a moment I was holding you. Every prayer you thought went unanswered was a prayer I was fulfilling in a deeper way. Every season of confusion was a path I was clearing ahead of you. Every time you felt forgotten was a moment I was preparing something too precious to rush. You were never alone. You were never forsaken. You were never unseen. You were never unprotected. I have been with you through all of it, every pain, every tear, every struggle, every moment of breaking. And now, my child, I am here to show you that your pain was not the end of your story. It was the soil from which I am about to grow something beautiful, something sacred, something eternal. My child, come closer and listen with your heart, because what I am about to reveal will bring light into places where confusion has lived for too long. You have carried so many why questions inside you quietly, painfully, privately. You wondered if it was wrong to feel the way you felt, wrong to ask what you were afraid to speak aloud. But I have seen every question, and today I will answer them with tenderness, with truth, and with a depth of love that reaches beyond the places that were wounded. Do not hide your heart from me now. Every why matters to me because you matter to me, and I want you to understand what your spirit has struggled to carry alone. My child, you have asked me again and again, why was there so much silence? You thought my silence meant I had turned away, that I was no longer listening, that maybe your prayers had lost their power, or your voice had lost its ability to reach me. But the silence you felt was not abandonment, it was preparation. Silence is not the absence of my presence. It is the deep work of my hands shaping what you could not yet see. There are seasons where speaking too soon would disrupt what I am building beneath the surface. In moments where you felt nothing happening, I was doing the most. In moments where you felt no voice guiding you, I was aligning the path ahead. My silence was the space where strength was growing, patience was forming, faith was expanding, and your heart was being softened in ways that nothing else could accomplish. I was not quiet because I didn't care, I was quiet because I cared so deeply that I needed you to trust me even when you could not trace me. Silence is where faith matures, where dependence deepens, where false supports fall away. You wanted answers immediately, but I was teaching you how to lean into me wholeheartedly. I kept still so you would stop searching for signs outside of me and start discovering the voice of my spirit within you. My silence was not distance, it was intimacy. It was me drawing you closer, inviting you to hear me not through circumstance, not through emotion, but through stillness and trust. And you asked me, Lord, why was there such a delay? Why did things take so long? You saw the waiting as punishment, but waiting is never punishment in my hands, it is positioning. The delay was not denial, it was protection. Delay is the space where character grows strong enough to carry what blessing will demand of you. There were doors you wanted me to open instantly, but if I had opened them then, they would have collapsed under the weight of unpreparedness. There were relationships you wanted me to restore quickly, but the healing required time. There were opportunities you wanted immediately, but they were not ready, or you were not ready. You prayed for things I fully intend to give you, but not before they would strengthen you rather than break you. Delay is a sacred filter. It separates what is meant for you from what is not. Delay shields you from premature battles, premature connections, premature decisions that could have taken you far from the purpose I designed. You wanted speed, but I wanted purpose. You wanted progress, but I wanted depth. You wanted convenience, but I wanted transformation. You wanted answers, but I wanted alignment. The delay was not me ignoring you, it was me protecting you, preparing you, purifying you, positioning you for a season that requires the strength and wisdom you now possess because of the waiting. And then you asked, why did certain people leave? Why were some removed from my life? My child, I know that part hurt you deeply. I saw the confusion in your eyes when people you loved walked away. I saw the ache in your chest when someone you trusted drifted or betrayed you. I saw the questions you asked. Did I do something wrong? Could I have prevented this? Let me tell you the truth that will free your heart. I removed them because they could not go where I am taking you. There were people who would have damaged your growth, dimmed your purpose, silenced your voice, or pulled you back into patterns I delivered you from. Some people left because their season in your life was complete. Some left because their presence would have hindered what I needed to build inside you. Others were removed because their intentions were not pure, even if their words sounded sincere. You saw companionship, I saw danger. You saw compatibility, I saw misalignment. You saw comfort, I saw compromise. I did not remove people to punish you, I removed them to protect you. When you held on to someone I was pulling away, it delayed healing. When you clung to connections that drained you, it slowed your progress. But as soon as you let go, clarity returned. Peace returned. Strength returned. I know you felt abandoned when they left, but if they had stayed, you would have been truly abandoned not by me, but by your own destiny. The absence of certain people made space for the presence of what I have always intended for you. You also asked, Lord, why didn't you answer this prayer earlier? Why did it seem like others received quickly while I remained stuck? My child, you must understand this with all your heart. I answer every prayer, but not every prayer is answered instantly. Some prayers wait for appointed moments. Each promise has a divine timing attached to it, not because I am withholding good from you, but because good given too early becomes harm. I was not ignoring your prayers. I was aligning the circumstances around them. You did not know who needed to enter your life for the prayer to be fulfilled. You did not know who needed to exit your life for the answer to manifest. You did not know what internal healing needed to occur before my blessing could rest safely on your life. Some prayers required maturity. Some required healing. Some required people you haven't met yet. Some required battles you had to win. Some required wounds you needed to release. Some required wisdom you didn't yet carry. I heard every request, but I answered in a way that would bless you, not burden you. What you called delay, I called preparation. What you called silence, I called refining. What you called unanswered, I called timing. Trust that I have not withheld from you. I have prepared something greater than what you asked for. And then came the question you didn't speak aloud but felt so deeply. Lord, why did I feel spiritually dry? Why did my faith feel weak? Why did I feel far from you even when I tried to pray? My child, dryness is not the absence of my presence, it is the shifting of my method. There are seasons where you feel me intensely, where my presence touches your emotions, where I carry you with waves of comfort. But there are other seasons equally sacred, where my presence comes not through feeling but through faith. When you felt spiritually dry, I was strengthening your roots. I was teaching you to walk by trust, not sensation. I was teaching you to know me beyond your emotions, beyond your circumstances, beyond your perception. Spiritual dryness is often the soil where the deepest growth happens, because it removes distractions and reveals what your heart truly leans on. You felt dry not because I was distant, but because I was deepening your capacity. I wanted you to learn to hear me in the whisper, not just the thunder. To feel me in the stillness, not just the supernatural. To trust my presence even when your heart did not feel it. Dryness does not mean death. It means pruning. It means refinement. It means that the parts of you that depended on external feelings were being reshaped to depend on my eternal truth. You did not fail in those moments, you were being strengthened. My beloved child, every why you carry was seen, heard, understood, and answered long before today. But now you are ready to receive the explanation that your heart could not handle before. Every silence had purpose. Every delay had protection. Every removal had intention. Every unanswered prayer had timing. Every dry season had growth. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was overlooked. You were never walking through chaos, you were walking through my plan. You were never wandering aimlessly, you were being guided by my hand. You were never forgotten, you were being shaped for destiny. You were never denied, you were being prepared. Right, amen. I trust your word completely if Scripture is your anchor and guide. And now, my child, the season of answers has come. My child, come closer, because now I will speak to the deepest places of your pain, the places you never let anyone see, the places you thought even I had forgotten. But I was there. I saw everything. And today I will uncover nothing to shame you, but to heal you. I will reveal nothing to reopen wounds, but to pour oil over them. I will bring into the light what darkness tried to bury, not to expose your weakness, but to show you how closely I carried you when you thought you were walking alone. My beloved, I saw the betrayal. I saw the moment trust you gave so freely was mishandled by those who did not know the value of your heart. I saw the exact second someone you never imagined would hurt you turned their back or spoke against you or walked away without explanation. You thought you were overreacting, but your heart broke more than you admitted. You wondered, why pierce so deeply? It is because you love deeply, you give sincerely, you attach with purity, and you believe the best even when others hid their worst. You didn't deserve what happened. You didn't deserve the lies, the distance, the sudden coldness. And though you blamed yourself, the wound was never your fault. I was there when your heart was crushed under betrayal you didn't see coming. I watched the confusion rise inside you as you replayed conversations, actions, and memories trying to understand where you went wrong. My child, you went wrong nowhere. Sometimes I allow betrayal not to break you, but to separate you from what cannot walk with you into the future. Even betrayal becomes a tool in my hands. If I had not allowed certain people to show their true intentions, you would have continued pulling them with you into a place they were never meant to stand. I know the pain felt too sharp, too sudden, too personal, but I used it to remove what was secretly draining you, using you, or distracting you. I did not let betrayal destroy you, I let it reveal what you could not see. And I saw the loneliness, the kind that sits with you even in crowded rooms, the kind that presses against your chest when everyone else thinks you're fine, the kind that comes after midnight when silence becomes too loud and thoughts become too heavy. I saw you trying to stay distracted, trying to keep busy, trying not to feel the ache of emptiness inside. You tried to convince yourself that loneliness meant something was wrong with you. But my child, your loneliness was not a sign of failure, it was a sign of calling. I separated you in seasons not to isolate you, but to draw you closer to me. Loneliness became the place where I softened your heart, where I shaped your character, where I whispered truths no one else could tell you. There were nights when you curled into yourself, wishing for someone to understand, someone to sit beside you, someone to simply notice the weight you carried. I was there. I sat beside you. I felt the ache you tried to silence. I held you when you wrapped your own arms around your body for comfort. You were not alone for a single heartbeat. You felt loneliness, but you were never abandoned. I allowed seasons of solitude because the noise around you had become too loud. Your heart needed silence so it could hear me again. And even when you felt unseen, I was watching over you with a love that never sleeps. I saw the rejection. I saw the doors slammed in your face, the opportunities that slipped from your hands, the relationships that ended without reason, the people who overlooked you, ignored you, dismissed you. I saw the way you questioned your worth. I saw the way you wondered, why am I not enough? My beloved, rejection did not mean you were unworthy, it meant the place you were trying to fit was too small for the destiny I planted inside you. Rejection is not a declaration of your inadequacy. It is my redirection. You were not rejected, you were protected. Every no was me steering you away from something beneath you. Every closed door was me leading you toward what truly belongs to you. Every person who walked away made room for someone who will honor your heart with purity, consistency, and truth. Rejection is painful, I know. It shakes your identity and wounds your soul. But I was with you each time your heart dropped at a message not returned, a promise broken, a place that no longer welcomed you. I whispered truth over you when lies tried to take root. I told you that you are chosen, loved, and seen even when the world didn't treat you that way. And I am still undoing every false belief that rejection planted inside you. My child, I saw your fear, that quiet fear you never wanted to admit, the fear of failing, the fear of being hurt again, the fear of being alone, the fear of not being enough, the fear that if you opened your heart again, it would be broken once more, the fear that if you stepped forward in faith, everything would fall apart. You walked through days with a brave face, but your heart trembled beneath the surface. Fear became a shadow following you, whispering doubts that stole your peace. But I never judged you for your fear. I never loved you less because of it. Instead, I built strength inside you slowly, gently, patiently. I placed courage in you each time you survived what scared you. Fear never disqualified you, it became the place where my power was made perfect in your weakness. I saw when you pretended to be strong. You carried burdens too heavy for one heart to bear, yet you smiled so others wouldn't worry. You held yourself together even when you were breaking. You comforted others while you cried alone. You said, "I'm fine," when your heart was screaming for rest. You tried to convince yourself that being strong meant being silent about your pain. But I saw you. I saw the shaking hands, the tired eyes, the deep breaths you took just to get through the day. You tried to be strong for everyone else, but you forgot that you were allowed to be weak in my presence. My child, strength does not come from pretending you are unshaken, it comes from letting me hold you when you are falling apart. I saw your private suffering, the wounds you hid because you didn't want to burden anyone, the memories that haunt you in quiet moments, the disappointments you swallowed, the heartbreak you tucked away so you wouldn't have to talk about it, the trauma you survived that others never knew, the way you isolated yourself when things became too heavy, the way you pushed forward even when exhaustion wrapped around you like chains. I saw all of it, every silent pain, every buried emotion, every invisible battle. Nothing you endured was hidden from me. Nothing you survived was overlooked. Nothing you carried went unnoticed. My beloved child, I have not just seen your pain, I have absorbed it into my heart. I have carried the weight with you. I have stood between you and the darkness that wanted to swallow you. I have whispered comfort when you were too broken to hear it. And now, I am speaking healing into every wound that still bleeds. Type Amen. I'm stepping into my purpose if God is leading your every step, and share this video.